If you have any interest in growing on Instagram, any interest at all, maybe you're doing it, maybe you're thinking about doing it, maybe you're thinking about using it for one of your brands, and you are using hashtags or you are considering using hashtags, I promise this episode is worth your time. I found such an amazing subreddit. I found this just this morning. It's R Instagram marketing. And there is so much goodness on this subreddit about how Instagram works and best practices for Instagram. And to save you time, so you don't have to look at the top posts yourself, I sorted through the top posts and I found some good ones and I'm going to read them. But I'm going to read just one on today's episode. I'm going to read others on other episodes, but this one gave me a holy moly moment. This one is a cautionary tale. And as somebody who is actually using hashtags myself, I'm going to stop because of this. And I read this and I said, oh my gosh, I've put up over 1,000 posts with hashtags, and I can't believe I didn't know this. The post is called, "Hello everyone, I'm here to clear some air around using hashtags." By the way, when I saw this was a post about hashtags, I thought it was going to be another hashtag best practice post. Use 6 hashtags, use 5 hashtags, use 1 hashtag, blah, 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 blah. It was nothing like that. And you'll see why. Okay, so it starts. "Hello everyone, I'm a professional brand manager and I've been doing this for the last 7 years. Also, I have my own account with 360,000 followers, and I'll be sharing everything I've learned in the last 7 years managing multiple accounts and successfully growing them. There's a lot of debate on Instagram about using hashtags, so today I'll clarify everything. Let's start with, should you use hashtags? And do they even work anymore? The simple answer is, here it is. This is the hook. This had me reading. The simple answer is no. No, capitalized. Hashtags will ruin your Instagram in the long run. Before we delve into how hashtags work, let's understand the algorithm. Here is some terminology that I will be using in this post. Core audience, so that's people following your page. Initial, so that's the core audience reaction to 10 minutes after posting. Core audience is people following your page. Initial is core audience reaction to 10 minutes after posting. Home is reach from your core audience. Others is reach from story shares. Engagement is overall core audience reaction. And spams is followers who follow you but don't react. The most important ones to take note of in this post, and it's a short post, but the most important ones are core audience, initial, so first 10 minutes after posting, and then spams. People who follow you but who don't react, who are basically worthless, according to this person's argument. Okay, so the post continues. Again, it's very short. The person says, now let's understand the algorithm briefly. When you post something, your post is shown to the first 10% of your audience, and based on their reactions, it is shown to the next 10%, and so on. When the post receives an overwhelming response from core followers, says people following your page, it is then shared to the Explore section where the same cycle continues before either blowing up or getting stopped. Now, let's talk about hashtags. To grow any page, we need engagement, which is, again, overall core audience reaction. To grow any page, we need engagement, and engagement comes from the home section, not hashtags. But when you use hashtags in your post, Instagram splits the first 10% of your audience into 50-50. So 50% from home and 50% from hashtags. And based on their response, the content is pushed further. So now the post that was supposed to be shown to your first 100 followers will now be shown to only 50. If you keep doing this, your initial engagement will drop. When your initial engagement drops, your reach drops. And then you become totally dependent on hashtags for your growth. And when the hashtags stop working, your page is dead. And after reading this, I paused for a second, and I'm pausing now. This crazy post. So the writer continues. The writer says, but why? The simple answer is hashtags are followed by spams. These are people who have no interest in you or your account. They're just people from all over the world following that hashtag. When they follow you for that one particular post, soon they start losing interest in your account and stop reacting to your posts, resulting in less engagement. And that was this Reddit post. It's called, again, "Hello everyone, I'm here to clear some air around using hashtags." This post was so insightful that I looked into the comments. The top comment I thought was very apt. It was very good. The person goes, "Hashtags explain social in a nutshell. First they invent it, then they celebrate it, then they punish you for using it. Sounds about right." Somebody even called out the original poster, the OP, and said, how do you know this about reach being split 50-50 between hashtag followers and core audience? And this person said, the author said, while I don't claim to know 100% about the Instagram algorithm, I know enough. I've been growing Instagram pages for the last 7 to 8 years, and I've made around 8,000 to 9,000 posts on Instagram. In my Instagram journey, I've tried literally everything, from using hashtags to using engagement groups for reach, posting multiple times a day to posting once a week. And from analyzing the data of each and every post I've made on Instagram, I came to this conclusion about hashtags. So now I'm very curious. I'm looking through Gary Vaynerchuk's reels. It looks like 75% of his posts use hashtags. However, he's also gotten a tremendous amount of growth from doing marketing outside of Instagram, and then people find him by searching him on Instagram. Something that I'm seeing right now, so I'm doing some research as I'm recording this, and I've actually just been researching for the last couple of minutes, and I'm seeing that there are people who are big who still use hashtags, but their hashtags are so on brand, and they don't post off brand. I think the real issue with this comes when you post lots of different things and you don't drill down into a specific niche, and then people from all sorts of different hashtags follow you, and your followers are just a mix of people who might not actually care about your stuff because your content is all over the place and because they're following those hashtags that you're posting with. And in the short term, you might get a lot of followers, but they will be followers who are not interested in your stuff, and that will ruin your engagement. Maybe they'll be in that core audience, the first people who are shown your posts, but they won't engage because they were following you for a different hashtag. And I'll say this, I've talked about my friend on this show. His name is Wanyan. His Instagram page is Wanyan Official, and he has some of the craziest Instagram growth that I've seen. He's up to 77.5 thousand followers, and he got this in the last less than 4 months. He doesn't use any hashtags, and his growth has been very explosive. What this person said makes a lot of sense to me in this post about how hashtags can ruin an account. So I'm going to experiment with stopping using hashtags after this. I'm going to read this part that had me pause again, and I'll end the podcast with this. When you use hashtags in your post, Instagram splits the first 10% of your audience into 50-50. So 50% from the home section and 50% from hashtags. And based on their response, the content is pushed further. So now the post that was supposed to be shown to your first 100 followers will now be shown to only 50. If you keep doing this, your initial engagement will drop. When your initial engagement drops, your reach drops, and you become totally dependent on hashtags for your growth. And when the hashtags stop working, your page is dead. All right, this is episode 290 of The Edward Show. This is my daily growth hacking and growth marketing podcast, and I really like to understand algorithms on this show. I know the Google algorithm extremely well. I think I know the TikTok algorithm pretty well at this point, and I am learning a lot about the Instagram algorithm. And this post taught me a ton. So I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I enjoyed discovering this post. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. I will talk to you again tomorrow. Bye now.